Hello, I'm Sid Lockhart, Sheriff of Chambers County, Alabama. I've served as Sheriff since 1995. I am an 11-year breast cancer survivor. I realized that men could get breast cancer, and then I didn't realize how many men just in our area has had breast cancer. And all of a sudden I started having heartburn. And I blamed that on one of my deputies. When I had the accident, it it just gave me heartburn. So I reached out and put my hand up here and I felt a knot. I knew that didn't feel right, so I went to the doctor the next day. They said whatever it is had to come out. They operated on me. It came back that it was cancer. And I had to go through the chemo for several weeks, but I'm a survivor because I caught it early. So all the men that's out there looking, please keep a check on yourself, especially if it runs in your family, that you may have the cancer gene.
Hello, I'm Steve Trammell. I'm the mayor of the city of West Point, Georgia, and I'd like to tell you about my mother's battle with cancer. I first learned of my mother's cancer was September of 1994. She had skipped a year on her mammograms and felt a lump, and I've since learned this is very common, and was diagnosed with stage 3 or 4 breast cancer. It's pretty serious, and of course, as any family member would be, we were very worried about her. She battled cancer for 14 years. She was in Dr. Galishaw's office up in Alpharetta, Georgia, and was the longest survivor they ever had that did not go back into remission. So she fought it for 14 years. So it was a long, hard battle for our family. As long as she fought it, we always had the hope that she was gonna win. And those self-checks, getting your mammograms regularly, because there are people out there that love you, and even though you may want to do this, you need to do it for them. So, I'd give anything if my mother had that mammogram. So, y'all do that too.
Hello, my name is Carlos Williams. I'm the Creative Services Manager here at WRBL, and I've been here for 41 years, believe it or not. Back in 1995, my wife Christine was diagnosed with breast cancer. On that day, it seemed like everything came to a halt. When the doctor broke the news to her and to us, she just started screaming and hollering, and the only person that could calm her down was her sister Carolyn, who was her best friend as well. Carolyn was a nurse, so I think my wife trusted her a little better than others. But got her calmed down, and almost immediately we decided to roll up our sleeves and fight, not to just take this news lying down. Christine passed in 2005, but not before a lengthy battle against breast cancer. Her message to others, I'm sure, would be to get your yearly mammograms, your breast cancer exams. You can also consult your local physicians about the timeliness of those exams. Surely, if there is history within your family, a mother or grandmother, that you need to get those exams more often. And then there's your monthly self-breast exam as well. I would say to men that when your wife, or if your wife is ever diagnosed, to be there with her, because usually when they get that news, they're in shock and they don't hear everything the doctor is saying, even during regular doctor's appointments. Once they got that initial news, they just kind of shut down because they don't want to hear the bad news. So from a man's standpoint, be there with your wife. And that was one thing that my mother told me. She said, stick by your wife. And so I'll say that to the men out there. To the women out there, I'll say, read your Bible and just be strong and know that God is there to protect you. Thank you.
I am Pearlie Webster Gibson. I am a graduate of the Alabama State University here in London, class 1955. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was hit with fear, believing what I had heard, that breast cancer could not be cured. thought about my children and my grandchildren because I asked God to let me live to be with them and help them to have a future. I want you to be conscious that cancer does not discriminate age, gender, or race. And most importantly, I want you to remember that it does not discriminate against sororities nor fraternities.